They don't know what it costs you to keep a roof over everyone's head. They only know it's warm inside. They only know the lights work. They only know the fridge hums when they open it. But no one ever asks what it takes for you to keep it all going. Because you're not loud about your struggle. You don't complain. You don't throw things. You just go quiet. You carry it all into your chest. And you say nothing. But every unpaid hour, every skipped meal, every sleepless night, it stacks up. Not on your body, but on your soul. You've been paying the mortgage with more than just money. You've been paying with your silence, your sacrifices, your mental peace. And this story is about the weight you carry in silence just to make sure others feel safe. But what happens when silence becomes too heavy to hold? That's what we're about to reveal. You wake up earlier than everyone else, not to meditate, not to stretch, but to check if the bank deducted the mortgage payment, to calculate how much is left, to see if you can stretch the utilities just one more week. And then you get dressed in the same clothes you've worn too many times and head out with a quiet nod. No one notices the sigh you let out at the door. No one sees you pause. When you glance at the bills left on the table, you keep it inside because what are you going to say? That you're terrified this month might be the month you can't cover it. That the last minute loan you took to keep the lights on is now coming back to bite. You don't want to worry anyone. You don't want to burden them, so you bury it. And somehow you still show up with a calm face. The world sees stability. They see the roof, the porch, the kitchen. They assume everything's fine because you've made it look that way. But behind that calm is a mind doing math at 3 a.m., is a spirit negotiating with exhaustion, is a person praying that next month won't break them. You don't get rewarded for the pressure you carry. You only get blamed when you drop it. And still, you hold on. Because even though you're breaking inside, you know this, if you fall apart, everything else might too. That's the price you pay. But here's the truth. Not all debts are financial. Some are emotional. And one day they come due. You've convinced yourself this is what strength looks like. Not talking, not asking, not resting, just doing. You say things like, I'll figure it out. We're fine. It's just a rough patch. And maybe part of you believes it because you've always found a way. Somehow, when the account was empty, you made it work. Somehow, when the fridge had nothing but eggs and rice, you turned it into dinner with a smile. But strength isn't supposed to cost your peace, and silence isn't always golden. Sometimes silence is a slow leak, a drain, a quiet undoing that no one notices until you're just gone. You're praised for your discipline, for your reliability, for being the rock. But no one asks what it's like to be the one who never gets to collapse. The one who doesn't get a break because everyone else is standing on your shoulders. And here's the part you don't say aloud. There are days you wish someone else would step in. Not to save you, not even to pay a bill, just to notice, to say, I see what you're carrying. You shouldn't have to do it alone. Sit down, I've got this. But they don't say that because you've made it look effortless. Like you don't need help. Like you were built for this. So you keep paying, not with money, but with mental energy, with your health, with your dreams that you shelved just to get through this month. And while you pay the mortgage, the real cost is showing up every day while no one sees you fading. After a while, you stop dreaming. You stop thinking about vacations or hobbies or even what rest might feel like. Because your whole life becomes about keeping things from falling apart. And when you're always surviving, you don't even notice how much of yourself you've stopped living. You used to have ideas, passions, little things you look forward to. Now you have deadlines, bills, reminders on your phone that feel like countdowns. You're not lazy. You're not careless. You're just tired. Not the kind of tired sleep fixes, the kind that seeps into your soul. Because you built a life where everyone else gets to breathe while you hold your breath for months at a time. And sometimes you wonder, if I stopped holding this up, would they still love me? If I said I couldn't do it anymore, would anyone step forward? It's a terrifying question, so you don't ask it. You just keep going, you keep performing, because now your worth feels tied to what you provide. And if you stop providing, what are you? But listen carefully. You were never just a provider. That's not your whole identity. You're a person with needs, with limits, with a breaking point, and ignoring that, that's how even the strongest become ghosts in their own homes. But there's a reason you keep going. Even when no one sees it, even when it costs you everything. It's not just duty. It's something deeper. Something most people never notice. You don't do this because you have to. You do it because something inside you won't let you quit. A promise you made, maybe not in words, but in action. A silent vow you swore when you looked around and saw no one else would do it. You became the one who shows up, who keeps showing up. Even when it's thankless. Even when no one claps. Even when your name is only mentioned when something goes wrong. You've come close to breaking, more than once. But something in you, call it grit, call it God, call it legacy, keeps you moving. Because you don't want to pass down the struggle. You want to pass down strength, peace, security. Even if you never get to enjoy it fully, you want them to. That's leadership. Not loud, not flashy, but sacred. The kind that doesn't need recognition, only results. But even leaders need rest. Even pillars need care. Even you deserve to be asked, how are you really doing? And if no one has asked you that, this is your space. Here, we don't clap for suffering. We honor the quiet endurance without letting it destroy the person behind it. If you've ever felt unseen in your sacrifice, let this video be your mirror. Like, comment, and share if someone you love is silently carrying it all. And now, as we close, we're not going to offer easy answers, but we will offer one truth. That could just change the way you carry the weight from here on. You've done more than most would understand. You've carried burdens in silence that would have crushed someone else out loud. And still, you kept showing up, not because it was easy, but because walking away was never an option. But listen, you don't have to disappear to be strong. You don't have to suffer in silence to be worthy of respect. You've proven enough, paid enough, sacrificed enough. Now, you deserve to be seen, not just for what you do, but for who you are beneath all the doing. And maybe, just maybe, the next chapter isn't about survival. It's about learning to breathe again, to ask for help, to receive it without guilt. To know that being the strong one doesn't mean you don't get to be human too. So, if the world hasn't thanked you, this is it. Thank you. For holding it together. For making sure others didn't fall even when you almost did. But now, it's your turn to rest, to rebuild. To be whole again, because strength isn't just how much you can carry. It's also knowing when to set it down and say, I need a minute.